You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, I mean, like for me, when I've coached guys out in the field, then there are guys who they've got over their approach anxiety, which is the first thing. So they are going and talking to girls, which is good. They know things to say. So it's not that they don't know like the right things to say. And the truth of the matter is there isn't any right things to say. You can kind of say anything, you know, it's what's sub-communicated. But they've learned some lines. They've been online. They've watched Tom Serraro videos. They know kind of the London day game model. They know how it's meant to go. But they just don't bring anything of really like powerful into the interaction. They're just a bit weak and wishy-washy, right? They don't have charisma, okay? And like when I'm talking about charisma, because obviously in the Charisma and Dating Academy, my course, which is open at the moment, for enrollments, I talk about charisma, but really it's like an umbrella term. And what it encompasses is just bringing some like just some balls to the interaction, really, like some sexuality to the interaction, a bit of excitement, a bit of mystery, a bit of danger. Do you know what I mean? And too many guys just go in and they're like, hey, you look really nice. So are you one of those Spanish girls? Oh, right. Yeah. And it's just very flat and it lacks anything. And like in my experience, my best interactions and where I've been most successful have been ones where I've just been really on and I've just brought that, you know, you've got that fire in your eyes. You've got that passion.
She knows memorable.
Exactly.
Memorable, whether it's like jokes or banter or whatever it may be.
Yeah. And it's like what I was saying at the beginning, right? I mean, when I was in Manchester and I was meeting girls in the clubs, almost overnight, I went from zero to not hero, but, you know, I went from getting nothing to suddenly getting a load of traction. And the reason I got that traction, it wasn't because I became better looking. It wasn't because I became more jacked. It wasn't any of that stuff. It was just that I'd become like pretty cocky actually. And sort of, and that leads into the dark triad characteristics because it's all very well walking in and just being really nice and respectful and everything else. But that's not gonna arouse her, right? You know, she might like you. She might think, oh, that was a sweet guy, but that's not going to get her turned on. What gets her turned on, you know, and like it or not, because the sexual marketplace is amoral, not immoral, but amoral.
For sure. Absolutely. You know, guys need to guys, write that down because what Troy, that's facts, 1000%. Like women don't pick men based on like the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's what's right for her. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. And what it is known, because this has been studied scientifically, it's been documented, it's been you know, the hypothesis has been tested many times. What turns women on about guys is often what are called the bad boy characteristics. That is to say, the dark triad. So that incorporates Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. And it's been found that having a convergence of those three things not only makes you more attractive to the opposite sex and more likely to be selected for sex by women, but it also makes guys more successful within industry, within commerce, within, you know, the corporate world, within politics. Because if you've got a combination of those three factors, it kind of propels you upwards in a way that, you know, we might sit here and say, well, that's terrible. You know, I don't want to hear that. That, you know, it should be honor and it should be nobility and everything else. But, you know, so just to go through them. So the first one I mentioned is Machiavellianism. So this is obviously named after Machiavelli, the Italian author who wrote the book The Prince. He was an advisor to the incoming prince, and basically the book The Prince is saying to this young man, listen, you're going to face a lot of political, you know, struggles in terms of gaining power and then holding on to power. So you need to do these things in order to maintain your power. And some of them are quite sneaky, some of them are quite backstabby type things, but very, very, you know, real and raw. And that book was a massive influence on Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power amongst other people. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Greene talks about him a lot in that book and other books. And it's like, you know, are you somebody who's willing to bend the rules a little bit? You know, are you somebody who's going to work the system, right? So having an element of that is important. Narcissism, you know, and it's been said, like, I think Royce from Chateau Hartiste said it best, you know, having confidence that can almost not be explained. You know, you're confident regardless of the objective reality. You know, do you love yourself a bit, right? That is attractive. Narcissism is attractive. You know, girls will go, "Oh, he was a narcissist," but they always end up fucking him. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.